go report it?
Yeah.
Should she do time?
I think.
Do time? Well, I don't know what time would
Should
be
she
for
do
that.
time?
Wait, did we go all the way around the table on the like better looking in 10 years time?
No.
No, we stopped here. I mean.
With you?
Yeah.
Better looking in 10 years time?
I have no clue. Probably not.
Okay. Yes?
Yeah.
So you're 22, right? Or
21.
21.
I just turned 21.
So better looking at 31?
Yeah, I think I'll look more like, I'll look more sophisticated, more like grown up, more like professional.
You would take the genie deal?
Huh?
You would take the genie deal?
What is that?
We age you forward 10 years, but there's no negative health ramifications. You would do it?
I don't know what that means.
So if you age 10 years from now, right? It's going to take X amount of days off your life, right? Because you get 10 years older.
Mm.
So let's pretend that we could just wave a wand. Now you're 10 years ahead.
But I still look the same.
No. You look like you're 10 years ahead, but physically, you're exactly the same. You haven't lost any lifespan at all. Would you take the deal?
Yes, I would.
You would?
Cause like knowledgeably and more like physically, I feel like I would look more professional, more sophisticated in what I'm doing, and what I want to do. So I would feel a lot better about myself in 10 years, because I'll be grown up.
Okay.
Yes, I think I'll look better at 31.
Better looking at 41?
No.
41?
Yeah, I'll look good.
51?
Nah, I'll
Okay.
start at 8.
What about you?
I would say yes, that I would look better. Anyways, like 2 years ago, I was really skinny.
Okay, so you're 27, right? So better looking at 37?
Yeah.
Better looking at 47?
Compared to 37, no.
Okay, and then were you better
37 is
looking? Were you better looking at 18 than you are now?
No.
Better looking at 18?
No, better looking.
Better looking now.
than I was
Okay.
yet.
All right. Apparently, aging does nothing to anybody. And there you
It's a
go.
good
My
question,
grandma,
though.
my
and
mom
it,
looks
it,
so
it
good.
plays into a bigger
do.
issue that we've got, where I think that
Every-
women tend to give away their more fertile years and their years of being better looking, because objectively, when women are younger, they're better looking in their early 20s. When you get into your 30s, you start to go downhill, and like that's just the reality of things. But in today's dating market, we see them giving away their whole entire 20s and being like, oh, when I'm 35, Prince Charming will come along. But it just doesn't really tend to happen like that. So it's a good question.
I don't think
Good
you
little
go
experiment.
downhill.
How do you think that you don't go downhill? You get past 30, you start to age dramatically.
Yeah, and everyone around you is aging as well.
When do you think that men find women most physically attractive? What ages would you say?
Younger, but that's...
25,
I don't
30.
feel like that's right, that men view younger women as more beautiful.
So the statistics are there, and they show that men find young women more attractive, but you don't feel that's right.
Yeah, if you look at statistics for women, they feel like older men around their age are more attractive
But
too.
men and women are different, so
Oh,
I'm specifically
so
referring
from a
to
men's
women.
stance, we would be better looking when we're younger.
Now
Yeah.
they're different.
But just from a universal stance, don't you think that
Now
women,
they're different.
when they're more youthful, are better looking?
No, because I feel like women become beautiful when they age.
Just to men.
To men, yes. To me, no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think this is a part of the feminist propaganda that women get fed, that you age like fine wine, when it's just really not the case.
My mom did, my grandma did. They look so good.
Yeah,
Feel
but
like
No
That
that
age well,
surgeries,
too.
no nothing.
yeah, but they might have still looked moderately attractive when they were older, for sure, but they still would have been more beautiful when they were younger.
That's just preference.
I do think it's interesting that as women, we did think, I think everyone thought we would look better older. And
Oh,
then,
I did not.
Oh, no, you didn't. Like, I
No.
didn't.
I did.
I think, like me personally, I think that about my own body, but I do agree that when you're in your like childbearing years, that makes very much sense. It's
What
like
physical
genetic.
characteristics do you think will look better when you're 37?
Well, I notice as I get older, I get more curvy because I used to be very, very smaller. Like I couldn't keep any weight on because my metabolism. So I just noticed that as
So
I
you
get
think you'll
older,
get fatter as you get older?
Oh, I know that I'll gain more weight, yes, because my
And you
metabolism.
think that will
will
be more attractive as you get fatter?
Well, I don't want to get fatter. I mean, I
But
want my
you'll be
butt to
putting
get
on weight,
fatter.
so you'll be getting bigger. So you think as you put on more weight, you think that will make you more attractive?
Because I know I gain weight in certain places, yes.
So
do you
weight
think
will make
that
her ugly?
Your
I know.
face will be as youthful as it is now?
No.
Do you think that your breasts will be as supple and will sit the same way?
Of course, they won't be exactly the same way. I'm not very large.
Would you say that
chested, so they
those
don't
things,
change too
when
much.
you're like your face changing and your breasts getting more saggy and you getting rounder, that makes you more attractive?
Me personally, to myself, yes.
Okay.
For my standard. But I could see that how a man would say, I definitely thought you looked better when you were 23 or
Saggy
22.
boobs and getting bigger is the ideal.
I mean, I like getting curves here, yeah. I think that's beautiful.
Okay.
Then I was a stick. You know what I mean? So I personally like having hips and larger thighs. That's the standard for my body.
Yeah, you think saggy boobs are more attractive than?
Like I
Could
said,
be
I'm
to
not
some guy.
large-chested, so I don't.
There it is.
My breasts.
I
don't
knew it
change.
was that.
I look the
I knew
same
it was
since I
coming.
18.
Somebody out there thinks it's beautiful. I just knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Hey, he likes the large labia. Maybe they like saggy tits. You never know.
Hey, that's
Somebody
true.
out there thinks it's
That's
beautiful.
true.
Okay, well, let me just follow up on this. It's just an observation I have, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. So, this observation on the aging question is I often see women who are married say, "No, I look better now than when I was younger." Single women, though, in their 30s or 40s or 50s, have the exact opposite answer. And so I wonder if those women who are married can just kind of say that because, well, they're married, right? And so they don't really have to play in the dating market anymore. They don't have to do any of that, right? I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. What did you think?
Married versus single?
No, the idea that the married woman will give the answer of, yeah, I did look better, or I look better now than when I was younger. But the single woman says, well, wait, I looked way better younger than I do right now. That's the woman in the dating market, right?
I think it really depends on like your security. If you're insecure in your marriage and you feel bad, you're gonna feel yourself as less. If you're single, you can feel yourself as less, but you can feel independent too and feel pretty.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters if you're married. No.
Well, maybe not, but I just wonder what you think the motivation is. Maybe you think the motivation is the one is secure, hasn't been in the dating market for 10 years. Really easy to make that kind of claim, right? So just an observation I've seen.
I think it could be different though, because a woman that's single can feel prettier if she's older because she has so many different options. But if a woman that's
Those
married,
options close.
yeah, exactly. But if a woman that's married, like you said, she could feel like she looks better than what she did. But then also, it could be a different woman that's married that feels less because she's only been stuck with
Well,
one man
I think it's
and hasn't
cope.
received love from multiple other
Yeah,
men.
I just think it's cope, right? I think that they're just like, look, I can just kind of say that, and who can challenge it, right? It's not like I have to go out in the dating market and prove it. I'm married.
Exactly.
Right?
But it's still a feeling.
the older woman, on the other hand, who's single, well, she has to prove that shit, right? And so, of course, the first response is, well, then why are you single? Right? If you're so great looking now in comparison to your 20s, then why are you still single?
Could be a question about character.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
could be
it
bitch. Like, some
could be,
girls are
but
beautiful
considering that
bitches.
men tend to move towards the physical beauty standard before they go to any type of personality, it just feels like it's kind of coping a little bit to me. That's all.
It's also an interesting observation about how much women value their beauty, how much of it they see it as their main commodity. Because as they get older, they like desperately clinging onto it, especially if they're single, because they know that they're still in the market. Whereas a woman who's maybe a little bit more wise and gets older and has kids and a family, she realizes that her value is more in being a mother now, rather than just being hot. So it's an interesting observation.
We'll get right back into some topics here, but first we got to go to Twitch. Guys, go to twitch.tv/whatever. Drop us a follow and a Prime sub if you have one, twitch.tv/whatever. Guys, it's been 23 minutes since we last got a Prime. I think it's bugged, boys. I think it's bugged. Daddy DS, thank you for the Prime, man. Also, guys, join our Discord, discord.gg/whatever. If you want to join, we post a bunch of BTS stuff and a bunch of other cool stuff. I post all my hate mail on there, fun stuff. And then also, first mention of the night, you guys got to go to debateuniversity.com. Debate University. Apple, thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate it. 5, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. Debateuniversity.com. You can get the course by Andrew Wilson, Verbal Combat. You really won't know how to proceed in life unless you get this course. If you want to become a master debater like Andrew over here, he's one of the best master debaters.
It's a nice play on words.
Do you guys ever host debates in there between the people doing the course?
No, it's strictly for personal use, so that people can understand better how to join a conversation and get their points across really, really well and concisely.
It's kind of smart.
And so I do want to get it back to, let's see here. I suppose piggybacking on the you can't be racist towards white people thing, perhaps we'll come back to that. Can you be sexist towards men?
Yes. Sorry.
Starting with you.
Open call.
I'm ready for it. Actually, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I want to make sure I word it.
Can you be a sexist? Like, can we sexualize a man?
Well, I want her to go first. So,
Okay.
guys, like the video. Also, Big Labia Matter. Also, Discord.gg. Also, Big Labia Matter. Also, Twitch.tv/whatever. Also, Big Labia Matter. Also, like the video. Also, send in a read or ATTS if you are so graciously consider helping us out. Let's see. All good?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to tie it back to the last conversation and say I think syntactically, it's the right word. How do I don't? I think
Maybe contextually.
Technotrooper donated $200. Ladies, what do you think are the biggest struggles men have right now in the dating
Are we
environment?
pivoting right now?
They get big.
Is that a pivot?
It's a
No,
good
it
question.
comes,
don't
it comes
listen.
through
Yeah,
automatically.
just random.
They don't
Okay.
listen.
I think just like you can't technically be racist towards a white man or sexist towards a man. I think it can be insensitive and it can be rude and hurtful.
Wait, so
but I
hold
think
on.
because my core belief that power dynamics play a lot into how the cultural significance of what something means.
Are
then-
women a minority?
Maybe not minority numerically, but definitely, I wouldn't say we're oppressed, but I would say, and you can't compare struggles
Why not?
Isn't that the
because
genesis of feminism?
everyone has their own struggles.
Yeah, that's why
Every
they
group
should be
has their own
compared.
struggles. But
Well, I mean, but if you say that there's a power dynamic, right, there could have been tons of struggle to get to the power dynamic, right? So becoming powerful, becoming king, maybe there was a big struggle there. Is she going to make still the comparison, though, that this person's more
I think there's
powerful
more
than that?
obstacles for one compared to the other.
And so isn't that a judgment?
A judge-
Like it's an assessment, and so you are
Okay, then
comparing
maybe
struggles?
so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say women are oppressed, especially when compared to black women. But I would say that they definitely have more obstacles than men. That doesn't mean men don't have struggles. And I think you can say hurtful things that are considered sexist to a man, but in a cultural significance, they don't compare.
Two things really quick. So just definitively, can you be sexist towards a man?
I don't think I have a definitive answer. I think it's a gray area.
I don't think it is.
Okay, well,
I think
we
it's a
disagree
yes.
on that.
I think it's a yes or no.
I disagree.
Okay.
Can I give a hypothetical situation?
Yeah.
Just say that there was a little utopia of women all existing together, no men whatsoever, a little colony of women. And then a man walks in and they all point guns at him and they arrest him, they lock him up and they put him in a
Yeah,
prison.
sexist.
And they say, this
That's
is because you are a man. And then every day they walk into his cell, they throw feces on him and they say, that's because you're a man. Would that be sexist?
Yes, but that's not the world we live
Wait,
in.
hold
That's
on.
a hypothetical.
Okay, fine. I'll ask this.
Sexist.
And I do want to credit Andrew for this one a little bit. If a business that was owned by a man didn't want to hire a woman just because she was a woman, not for some other reason, she wasn't qualified, although she was, but would that be sexist? If
Yes.
you didn't want to, is it sexist for women to cross the street when there's 3 men coming towards her
No.
at night
No.
because they're men? It's not sexist.
But this leads back to my other point.
So just to be clear-
I think yes, the 3 men walking down the street can be hurt by that and say, well, why doesn't she trust me? But I think in the grand scheme of history and culture and power dynamics, there is a reason why the woman feels
I'll
that
even
way.
grant that there's a bigger impact on women for a company to refuse to hire them because they're women. I'll grant it. But is it still sexist?
For a company not to hire a woman
Because she's a woman.
She's a woman. Yes, it's sexist.
It's sexist. So how is it not also sexist for a woman to cross to the other side of the street because she has a bias against men that they are a potential violent threat? How is that not sexist?
Because, like I said before, I think in the grand scheme of things, culturally, there's a different significance.
Hold on. So I'll grant that there's varying levels of sexism, right? So, for example, choosing to kill someone because of their sex, you would agree that, or well, I suppose you would only think it would be sexist if a man killed a woman because she's a woman, but a woman who, who's the one who tried to kill Andy Warhol?
What if it's a black woman who's crossing the street and it's three Native American men?
That's actually crazy. Hypothetical question.
That's not a crazy hypothetical. It's a black woman says she sees three Native American men walking towards her, and she crosses the street to
I
avoid
do
them.
think that's a crazy hypothetical question because that takes into a whole nother complex lot of layers that include a lot more cultural significance than.
Yeah. So what's the
Yeah,
answer?
like it depends on how
I
they
don't know,
dress.
Wait.
I don't
Actually,
know the
hold on.
history that
Wait.
well for
I got this. By the way, Techno Trooper, we will come back to your TTS, but I want to get through this conversation first. So we will get into the biggest struggles men have when it comes to dating.
It's like it's the oppression Olympics.
But it could be how they're
hold
dressed
on.
too.
Wait. So question for you. Okay. Perhaps using the sort of different scenario is not the best. If there was a company that was operated by women and they refused to hire men, would this be sexist?
Yes.
Wait, I thought you can be
Because
sexist. I thought you can be sexist towards men.
But crossing street and taking
hold on.
people to work in a
I've already
company,
moved
two
off of that
different
example.
things.
Because then in that case, I think if there's a whole room of women, I think because that's a similar hypothetical question to what you asked. If it's all women, and then it's like, well, I guess also there are companies
Well,
that
what
are
about
just
the
women.
history of power dynamics? We have
I
to
know, I
take in
still
the
think
whole history of women. And as you know, women have been far more oppressed than men. So if that is the case,
No, it's
how
not
could
sexist.
a woman...
Because
Yeah, it's not sexist,
I do
right?
think just like there are Hispanic groups and like black groups for different communities and things that where people like film production companies or like unions even, they advocate for a specific group of people, right? And so if it is just
Sure.
a group of women and they exclude a man for that reason, then sure. My grandma's in a women's club
Yeah,
and they advocate
but
for
that's
women.
But then you're disregarding the entire history of women.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Well,
I have
so,
a better question.
so okay.
Why
Yeah,
I
I wanna
can't
hear other
to
people
speak?
speak.
Hang on.
No, I
Yeah,
wanna
why
hear other
only
people
she is speaking like for 30 minutes
I do
non-stop?
wanna hear
I'm sorry, the attention's not 100% on you right
no,
this
but
second.
I do think other women should speak.
Yeah, and they have been. Right?
So have I,
I'm just
though. I do think-
asking.
okay.
I'm just asking a couple of follow-ups here.
We
Right?
can go back to those.
Like,
No, actually, she needs a break. She shared with me
I'm
that
sorry.
she needs a break.
Is it
She
just
did take a break.
Is it
Yeah.
like 2 questions and then I need a break? I'm just curious
No,
about
I just-
the answer.
No, I just wanna hear what other
Here,
people have
some
to say
other
as well.
girls also
I
wants
know.
to speak.
I want to hear what they have to say
Then
too.
let's listen.
I also
Yeah.
want to hear what you have to say. So that's why I'm
Thank
asking you the
Let's
question.
listen to other women as
Yeah,
well.
I know,
podcast.
and we will as soon as I'm done listening to your answer to the question.
Wait, didn't you get all butthurt because you had like 30 seconds on the Charlie Kirk thing? We're giving you...
I wasn't butthurt.
Okay, you weren't
I said
butthurt, but,
rightfully
like-
so. I said yes, I should have gotten voted off, and I did.
Yeah, how long... By the way, how long was the shoot?
The Jubilee thing?
Yeah.
Like 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay, and you got like 1 minute of screen time, basically?
Yeah, because I wasn't logical.
How about I make a deal? I'll ask one last question. That's it.
And then I'll ask like 50, but go ahead.
Okay.
And I just
I'll
won't
ask one
answer.
last question.
Okay.
For next 30 minutes.
Is it, well, 2. It's going to be 2, but it'll be very fast. You agree with me that you can be prejudiced without it being racist? Meaning, if like a group of black people hate white people because they're white, they're not being racist, but they're still being prejudiced. Like it's prejudicial, right?
I think in being racist or being prejudiced, but I think you can be prejudiced without being
Racist. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so they would be being prejudiced in a situation like that.
For what? What was the scenario again?
If they just hate you because you're white.
Yes.
Yeah, that's prejudice, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me why morally being prejudiced is better than being racist?
I don't think one's, well, that's a good question that I don't have a specific answer for.
You should think about that.
I'll think about that.
Just sent 2
She
links.
will. All night long.
So I'm a little confused because it seems like you're leaning towards women cannot be sexist towards men, or you just can't be sexist towards men in general, it sounds like. But you did seem to concede that in the example I provided, that this scenario I provided, that are you...
Well, I mean, he said he was going to ask 2 questions, then we move on.
Yeah, he said that. Is it that
And then you said
just,
you were going to ask questions, and I said I wasn't
yeah.
going to answer it because I want to hear other women speak.
Just
Is
doesn't
it-
want to. She doesn't want
Is
to
it
engage.
because you just don't want your worldview to be challenged because it will crumble under scrutiny?
I think.
This is, by the way, this is, I mean, my line of questioning has been fairly milquetoast and polite, but I do find it interesting that when you get even the slightest degree of perhaps questioning or pushback on your worldview, you refuse to engage.
That's not been happening this entire time, and I've been answering the entire time.
Well, you're not really allowing me to continue on with the exchange, so... And I don't think it's fully been settled, so... Do you know what stonewalling is? Do you think it's healthy to do that in a relationship?
What? Stone what?
Okay, I'll bring it back to a dating related. Do you think stonewalling in a relationship is toxic? Answer the question.
Yes.
What the hell is that?
It's like refusing to
Address any problems, anything that's wrong.
What?
Anything you guys might face as a couple, I'm assuming. So like if you guys argue, if there's something
Speaking to the mic.
if you guys are like arguing and if you guys just choose not to talk about it, or if you guys just want to like push it under the rug, that's basically what stonewalling is, not addressing or wanting to fix the issue.
I mean, you can do that if you want to break up.
Right.
Like, you have to have communication in a relationship.
That's why
or
they're
else
asking if it's toxic.
Oh, okay. It's toxic.
What do you think about that? Is stonewalling good or bad in a relationship?
If it's a relationship you're trying to sustain, are we friends right now? Are we like in a relationship? Like, this is not something that I want to, like, this is not grass I want to water right now. I want to move on, and that's what I'm doing.
Then break up.
You can't really just be like, well, I've put something out there, but I'm not prepared to defend it. I don't think you can be, you were essentially saying you can't be racist towards white people. You can't be sexist towards men. I believe that's your position. You're trying to cloak it in this sort of vagueness of, well, there's black and white. But essentially, because you would say emphatically and definitively, you could be racist towards women, yes?
Racist towards
Or
women?
excuse me, I apologize.
Guys, I want to make a statement.
Oh my
I could
God,
not
you
handle.
can't-
I
you
could
cannot
not
keep fucking
handle
interrupting.
that boring questions anymore. I'm falling asleep. I'm going home. I love you all bitches so much.
All right,
Mwah,
let's
mwah,
go.
mwah, mwah.
Touch My
Fuck
Black
out then.
donated $200. Wait,
Out the
whose show is
description.
this? Are you permitted to run it and ask questions?
Yes, just like I'm permitted to ignore them.
I mean, you're under no obligation to answer any questions, but it sort of is super bad faith to not want to engage with the conversation.
Well, isn't this a group discussion for a reason, though, to hear other perspectives? And I've been talking for the past, hour? Do
Well,
other
you
women,
know-
do you guys want to say anything?
You know, maybe if you kind of
Can
just
I
answered
hear
the
you
questions,
guys
I'd be able.
speak?
Maybe if you just answered the questions.
Going against you, they're asking you questions. That's why we can't speak right now, because they're asking you, not us.
They're not directed towards us.
Like I would, we've.
I think
kind
they're
of-
just trying to like hear like the reasoning as to the statements that have been
I
made.
just feel like I've been trying to explain my. Okay, then let's do it. Let's
but,
keep going.
But I
then.
almost
Let's
feel
just
like,
keep going
are
then.
you just
Okay.
kind of trying to
Just ask us
weasel?
direct
Okay,
question.
let's just keep going then.
You're never going to win this.
Just ask a direct
Yeah,
question
that's
for a
why I
direct
just wanted-
answer.
Okay, so trying to recall where we were. So, can you or can you not be sexist towards men?
I said this. No.
Okay. Can you or can you not be racist towards white people?
No.
Okay.
That doesn't
but
mean-
so I guess where I'm confused though is you in the scenario I provided where a woman, a company, and perhaps the owners of the company was a woman or a group of women, and they refused to hire men because they're men. You did seem to concede that that would be sexist.
And then I changed my mind.
Oh, so it wouldn't be sexist. It would be what?
Well, I think it depends on the context. Like I said before, if it's a group for women to advocate for women,
Would it be?
then yes, you can exclude anyone who is not a woman. But if it's a group like where there are a mix of some, but maybe the majority are women, and you're excluding a man based on the grounds that he's a man, then yes, you're being prejudiced towards a man.
Sexist.
Prejudice.
Sexist.
Okay.
Okay. Well, but the exact same scenario, but it's being done to women would be prejudice or sexist?
Sexist.
So is your definition of sexism prejudice plus power?
Yes.
And you're saying men hold the power, women don't?
Yes.
Okay. And so wouldn't it be the case that, let's say I'm I'm a male, and I'm I came out of poverty, and I'm applying to be a janitor at a woman's company, and the board is made up predominantly of women. The owner is a woman. She's a billionaire. And I'm applying for a $30,000 a year job at this company. She's a billionaire, mind you.
Touch My Blade donated $200. The young lady's arguments are very flawed, and that is why she almost broke down and needed a break for very basic questions. Just take the L as everyone else sees the L you already took.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Touch My Blade. In the scenario, the formerly impoverished janitorial worker applying for a company that's predominantly owned by women. The owner of the company she's a female billionaire. She refuses to hire this male janitor because he's male. Is this sexist?
Prejudice.
Hold on. Who holds the power?
She was
In
talking about
this,
his
yes, I'm saying in the grand scheme of things.
No. It's not in the grand scheme of things. It's a specific example.
In a world of...
In a world
matter.
where
You
a
have to-
woman's a
you-
billionaire.
Where the one woman is a billionaire. In a world full of men that hold power.
Okay.
You have to look at the context of things. You
So-
can't just look at one hypothetical situation.
So does she not have power?
She does.
So she has power plus prejudice equals racism. You conceded she has power. Hold on. Do you concede she has power?
Yes.
Do you concede that she's prejudiced?
Yes.
It meets your own definition of racism.
Power in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, wow. Okay, now, was it shifting the goalpost here a little bit? I thought it was just prejudice plus power.
Power in the grand scheme of things. Sorry, I didn't clarify that
This is
earlier.
even a new definition. This is a Super Saiyan level 3.
No, I just didn't clarify earlier because that wasn't